record. All right. So tonight's team call, now let's sit down, is obviously about finding customers. And this is really important, especially for new coaches. So, but for all of us. So I'm going to share my screen and pull up today's slideshow, and we'll get started. So, somebody told me last time how to do this so that I actually start it. And of course,
Shift F5.
I think it's this one, right? From the beginning. There we go. Woohoo! Arjun, you're the best. Okay. So obviously, really quick, the current promotions. We've got 22-minute hard corps, which is the brand new program that came out this month. I'm starting that tomorrow with a few people. So I'll definitely be letting everybody know how it goes, what I think of it. Obviously, you can have the option to get the Kickstart for 180. And if you don't know what that means, Kickstart always just means that you can kind of jumpstart your results by starting with a 3-day refresh, which will help anybody kind of really get back, kind of cleanse their bodies, detox, get rid of any of that junk. They'll lose a really quick 3, 5, 8, up to 11 or 12 pounds, which kind of gives them that motivation. They start feeling better, and then they're like, okay, I want to do this. I want to get these results. So I typically don't try to upsell it. What I do is listen in case somebody says to me, you know, I've been eating so terribly for so long. I just got back from a vacation. I feel like I gained another 5 or 10 pounds, or my body, I just feel like I might need a detox or something. And then I would mention that. So. And then we also have PIO at 140. The Kickstart's 180. PIO was Ariel's awesome transformation. And so you can use her before and after picture to advertise for it. She's given permission. We all do that for each other. So you could use that and be like, want results like this girl got this, is, one of my team members, she got these results in 30 days or whatever of doing, or 60 days of doing PIO. You can do it too. This program's on sale this month, kind of a deal. The 3-day refresh is on sale for $140, which means that challenge pack is the month's 5 Shakeology and the 3-day refresh. So they're getting the cleanse for another just $10. And then the Success Club prize this month is a free sampler of the Beachbody Performance line. Also, the 3-day refresh base kit, which means it doesn't come with Shakeology. It's kind of assuming that you already have the Shakeology, is $5 off all month. And I believe that we get that too as coaches, but you can kind of advertise that for anybody who's interested. And also, if you have somebody interested in trying the shake, but they also have gained some weight they want to lose, it might be a really great thing to recommend to them is doing the 3-day refresh, because they'll get to try the chocolate vegan Shakeology, although that isn't the #1 flavor. Typically, people like our regular flavors more. I have a coach like Andrea Addison who didn't like the regular flavors and then loved the chocolate vegan. So they could do that and try it that way. And that one with the chocolate vegan Shake-O, that's called the complete kit, the complete 3-day refresh, and that's $10 off a month. And it's a great thing to advertise for after Easter, once you've eaten all that candy and gunk and just stuff you don't usually eat, or people that are going on spring breaks. I'm sure a lot of the coaches that are on our cruise right now are going to be, doing that right when they get back to jumpstart some weight loss. So. And detox and all that. News and events. Okay, so Super Saturday is April 2nd at Georgia State University. Jess, especially for you, if this is something that you can put on your calendar and you can get to, I would highly recommend it. I forgot to look at the time for this one.
I think it's 9 to 12.
Okay, I was going to say it's usually around 9.
We're going to be in Disney that day.
I know.
Otherwise, I'd go.
It's awesome. Well, I usually make a video when I share everything, and I pretty much somehow have a knack for writing down what they covered in 4 hours in about 30 minutes or 20 minutes and having all of it without missing anything. So I'm sure I'll share all that for you guys. So hopefully the next one, but you just want to make sure that you register if you're going to go to it. And April, I want to do a team lunch or dinner. We can do it at my house, or we can wait to do it at my house until we have the pool up and going and kids can come and it can be like a whole family cookout. So we could save that for like May. And we could, we could actually just meet, I was going to say after Super Saturday, but if a lot of people can't come, then we might just do it separately toward the end of like April or mid-April. So we can talk about that and throw around ideas if anybody has one. I think a lot of people were feeling like a mom's night out would be really cool. A lot of us never drink or never go out or never have any fun anymore because we're moms and we're always working or doing things for our kids. And so we thought it might be a fun way to kind of just hang out with the team, business aside, just have a good time. Register for Summit and Success Club Cruise 2017 if you have not yet. It doesn't cost you to do this, just to get your name on the wait list. You don't want to miss it. I'm seeing my newsfeed blow up right now with all the coaches that are on the cruise, and it's incredible. So definitely go to the website and register for both of those so that you can, at least if you hit Success Club every month and if you end up being asked off of it, you have the eligibility to go. You'll probably already earn your cruise, just like you're cruising. You'll have your cruise completely earned. And you'll probably have the extra $600 that you can use toward excursions and things like that. And you can like, I earned mine for me and my husband. You can take your kids. Like, it's just awesome. So it's totally free when you earn it, which you would definitely do. The My Challenge Tracker is live. We're not using it in this challenge group that's about to start because there's so much going on at once. I'll have a lot of new coaches, and I kind of want them to get the handle of how a challenge group works first. And we're doing a free group and Coach Basics, and the sneak peek's about to start. And it's just kind of a lot going on right now. So I just figured maybe next round we'll try that and see how it goes. But it is up and running. It's live. You can watch the tutorials that I've shared on our team page and kind of familiarize yourself. The 7-day Shakeology sampler is here. It's in celebration of the Shakeo's 7-year anniversary, which was like, I think, this month. So you can advertise that. That literally lets everybody try every sample of the shake there is. There's nothing that they're missing. That's a great one for anybody who's really interested in Shakeology. I'm not a big fan of the samplers just because I feel like they don't have, if they like one, they don't have it after, and they already spent like $40, like $50 after shipping, where they could have just had a whole bag that they can return if they don't like it and get a program for free, whatever. So I usually try to steer people that way. But if you have somebody really adamant, this is a great way since they get to try them all. Beachbody On Demand, the digital unlocks are now available. This isn't brand new news, but just keep it in mind if you have somebody interested in size or T25 or Body Beast, and maybe they're a program, they've already been a challenger of yours, or they've already got like the club membership. This means that through Beachbody On Demand, they can purchase the program for like so much less than the full price of buying the program, and they're not going to get the DVDs, but they're going to be able to access the entire workout program, the nutrition guide, all of that through Beachbody On Demand. It's a kind of a cheaper way to go for people who don't have the full money for a program, and those are the only 3 available through that right now. A little bit of recognition. We've got some people with Success Club points on the board already, which is really exciting. Jess, you are rocking it at Success Club 16. It's amazing to be there that early in the month. Kristen is at 6. I'm right now at 4, and I've got my husband at 6. So 10 between the two of us. Jen Crawford, one of Jess's coaches, is already at 4 and just got her first 2 coaches, so she will be Emerald on Thursday, which is super exciting. And Allie has 2 points on the board as well. The rank advancements, Jess hit Emerald this month, and Kristen, so I get to give them their prizes when we meet on Wednesday night, which is exciting. And my husband hit Ruby. He'll be Diamond on Thursday. And Jennifer Crawford, she is going to be Emerald on Thursday as well, which is super cool. So congrats. This is a big month for the team so far. Finding people to help. Okay, so launching right into the topic so that I don't waste anybody's time tonight. We all have that attitude, like, I just want to help everybody. And I know that I really fell into this trap as a new coach. I was just like, hey, if somebody has 80 pounds to lose, great. If they've got 10 pounds to lose, great. If they're like me and they started then below their pre-pregnancy weight and they just want to tone up, like, great, I can help everybody. It's a wonderful attitude to have, but it will actually hinder your success in business. Because, I don't know if you ever heard this quote before, but if you're talking to everybody, essentially you're talking to nobody. Your brand and your message is going to become generic and ineffective if you are not having like a laser beam focus, if you aren't really speaking to a specific and very specific audience that you are trying to reach. So if you're just kind of making your post to anybody who wants to lose some weight, or no matter whether they're male or female, they're old or young, you really probably will not be making deep connections with people, or really more importantly, you won't be attracting the kind of people that you can relate. And this is important because a lot of your challengers will be the people that become coaches. Become coaches, whether they sign up that way day one or in the future, and they like the challenge groups and they think, hey, I could do this, like my friends are asking me. You want to make sure that these are people that you want to work with. So you kind of want to really get to know them and make sure that you're trying to attract people that are like you, because obviously you like yourself. So if you are trying to find more people like you, you'll really enjoy your job more. And you'll find that you're actually more successful. Your mind would tell you that if you're only trying to be very, very specific, like I'm looking for somebody in their upper 20s, low 30s. She's a single mom, she's a stay-at-home mom, she's a working mom. You would just think, well, then I'm really limiting the people I can help. I won't be as successful. It's actually completely the opposite. And all the top coaches will tell you that. There's tons of videos on it. The more specific you get with who you speak to, your posts start to target that group of people, and that group of people will just start coming to you, and they'll be the ones picking you up. And again, they're going to be more enjoyable to work with. They're going to be more like you. They're going to be a similar point in their life. It'll probably turn into friendships, and it'll just be a really good thing. So if you don't laser beam your focus, you will always be wondering, how can I get to the next level of my business? Like, it won't really just be working like a well-oiled machine. You need to get specific and kind of find your target audience and your ideal customer. So your ideal customer is you. So you want to talk to you. What do you need to hear today? Like, what do you need to hear right now? What did you need to hear when you were a new coach? What's something you're personally struggling with? Because that's going to be something like those tend to be the things that we want to hide. And those are actually the things that people will really need to hear. So you want to share your experience and not somebody else's. So I don't want you to be like, well, Kim loved, if you need, somebody has a question about standing math 30, you can obviously tell them. I didn't personally do it. My coach did it. But you can tell them about like your experience with whatever your FWF program is. And if they're specifically asking about one that you haven't done, then yes, it's okay to talk about somebody else's experience, of course. But predominantly, you want to be sharing on social media what's real to you. If you struggle with meal prepping, or maybe you nail meal prepping, but you struggle with wanting to work out because you're just not a workout person. Like, you would think that to be a coach, you would have to be telling people like, I love to work out, but it's the opposite. A lot of people don't want to work out. They don't like to work out. And so if they see you saying, listen, I'm not a workout person. Like, this is hard for me. It's like a job every day, but I do it because I know I should, or whatever it is. So you always want to be speaking from your heart. That will really connect you with the kind of people that need to hear your message and that are like you. Going to be real and authentic, and don't be afraid to share how you really feel or even felt, because that's what makes you more relatable. Nobody wants somebody that's perfect or is nailing their workouts and their nutrition every single day all the time and never trips up. So I know some of my favorite posts from my coaches have been really real posts about what's difficult for them and what they're struggling through, or if they fail, they stopped a program and they decided to restart. And a lot of times that gets people to join back in with them. Also, when I say felt, I know I mentioned recently how, like, I made a post where I said, I can't believe I told my coach I didn't need this shake thing, that I'm not about shakes, that I don't believe in them, that you can just eat healthy and work out and you're good. Like, I remember telling her that, and now I want to bite myself because, like, I need this every day because I can't make 5 to 6 healthy meals. I don't have the time for it. I need the convenience factor of it. And so I made a post like that. But I was putting it out there and I tell my customers very plainly and openly, I was not about the shake. I was very hesitant, very anti-shake. Like, everybody has a shake to sell. And that's made me very relatable. A lot of people have chosen to buy the shake because they realize, hey, well, if she's like me and now she loves it, it makes sense. So talk about the workouts that you used or use and that you love, the tips that helped you, and what overwhelmed or scared you. Now, when you ask them those engagement questions, maybe they tell you that they love like punching and kicking and jabbing, and one of your first things would be Turbo Jam or Turbo Fire. But if you've never done that, I don't want you to only tell them the programs that you like or that you use, because you want to talk to them what they need. But when you're posting on social media about what you love and what you like, that you want to make that stuff about you. Tips that have helped you. If you see something and you're like, oh my gosh, like, I know that I'm terrible with meal prepping. I'm terrible. I saw something today on Beachbody, right on one of the 3 main things on our main website, about how to meal prep in like, whatever it was, like 9 minutes or 10 minutes. And there was some awesome meals. I saved it. So I can start doing some of those because I'm not good with that. So then I'll share that, because if it helped me, it's going to help somebody else. Also, what overwhelms you or scares you. It can be about coaching. It can be about, your workouts or nutrition or sticking with this, or if you trust yourself to really make this a lifestyle change, or whatever it may be. Share that. It's going to relate to people and it's going to help somebody. Ultimately, doing these things is going to bring you people that you have a lot more in common with, people who get you, and people that will be more fun and meaningful for you to work with. You're not going to be wasting your time constantly talking to all kinds of people who don't have a lot in common with you, and then honestly are never just going to purchase from you. Because we all know that the reason people purchase, it's an emotional thing. Like, if you go see that rug in the store and you're like, oh, that would look perfect in my baby's room, like, there's an emotional attachment to the purchase. Or you put on a bathing suit and you look amazing. You're like, my husband would love it. There's an emotional factor in it. And there is in this too. They are going to purchase from you because something about you, they trust you. You built a relationship. And if they, aren't purchasing, maybe it's because that relationship isn't there. Or maybe they don't connect with you, which is why I'd rather have y'all talking to your specific target audience than wasting your time talking to the general population and getting all kinds of people that are never going to sign up anyways, or don't really have a lot in common with you, kind of thing. And they go looking for someone who they do more have in common. Because especially even if you do get them to sign up, chances are they're not going to jive in your challenge group. They're going to fall off. And then what good is it to you anyways? The only way to really build a strong foundation. And the people who stay on the shake, they're going to stay on the shake, if they're interested in the discount opportunity, or if they really love your challenge groups, or, if they actually decide to actively coach. So we want to build a strong foundation where you're not dropping in and out of ring, and making sure you have customers who actually want to be, customers who are going to stay in your groups. So the way you can find your ideal customer really is to create your list. So take a piece of paper and pen sometime this week and write down hobbies, interest, occupation, personality, and fears or hesitation. And fill in what yours are. What hobbies do you like? What's your interest? What occupation do you have? What personality? I know that Jess is a teacher. I know that right now, predominantly, like everybody she's gotten to purchase from her has been pretty much teachers. She's working that target audience. Like she's a teacher and she gets that teacher struggle and she's putting out. Same thing with Kristen. They're both doing really, really well. And casual for you, it might be the working moms who are constantly running from one thing to the next and just drop their kid off and get to work and pick their kid up and using their lunch break to build the business. Like that's who you want to speak to. Those working moms who maybe don't think it's possible to build something else to get them out of that. Fears and hesitations, so them, who are they? Like, so who is this person? Now we get more specific. What is their personality? I'm outgoing, I'm really shy. I'm an introvert. I'm whatever. Are they married or single? We've seen top coaches who have said they are like top, tippity top, making, $40,000 a week. And they're like, I was a complete social introvert when I started. I still kind of am. You better believe that the majority of people on their team are social introverts. They joined because they're like, hey, wait, if she's a social introvert, which she openly shared, she can do it. Maybe I can do it too. They related on that level. That's how people build strong businesses. Is this person married or single? Do they have kids? What are their goals? Like, what are your goals? What do you feel? You got to fill in all those things. What do you fear? What annoys you? What do you worry about? Those things that you would have in common with this kind of person. Those are the kind of things you want to be posting about. Okay, developing your brand. Make a list of characteristics. So ideas, hobbies, like likes and interests, personality type, if they're motivated, if they're shy or outgoing, if they're not motivated, be as specific as possible. So you make your list of characteristics of that person you're trying to target, like essentially you. Then you create a visual, which I'm going to show you on the next slide. And then you read this daily. So you want to filter all of your posts through this. Am I speaking to that target audience? Is this something that I or that person would need to hear today? You create your videos, your blog or Facebook posts, any of that stuff that will relate or help your ideal customer. So we start talking about helping like that dad who's, if that's not your target, we don't want to worry about it. You want to be working smart, smarter and not harder, working efficiently by speaking to that audience. So if you, there's an elite tip that I came across, which I love. The elite coaches obviously are in our top 200. If you want to genuinely connect with and truly help your customers, which I know we all do, it's time to laser beam focus on the person you completely relate to. This exercise changed my business. I went from working with a wide variety of people to attracting coaches who are just like me. It makes your job as a coach so much easier, a lot more fun, and gives you a clear purpose because you know who you are trying to help. Let's say you're a really motivated person. What if you're attracting a ton of people who are not motivated at all? Do you really think that you're going to enjoy your job coaching them if you have to do every little thing for them? You always have to try to pick them up. You always have to try to motivate them. It's going to be exhausting. And I was kind of attracting all different kinds of coaches at the beginning too. And so trust me, I've learned this from personal experience that like you really, and I have now started targeting a very specific person as well in my posts. It is already, I can already see the fruit of that and that it's helping me. So definitely give that a try. So that's really what you're doing to develop your own brand. Okay, so here's that visual. Meet Kim. Kim's 29 years old. This is my list, right? She loves animals. She's got a pet. She is fun-loving, outgoing, and she talks a lot. She's sensitive. She's emotional. She's compassionate. She worries a lot, and she's super full of doubt, right? I'm a control freak. I've got an A-type personality. I'm self-motivated. I'm outdoorsy. I'm thrifty. I love fitness and working out. I've always been searching for my purpose. Always wondering, is this it? Is that it? My place and what my purpose is. I struggle to make my husband a top priority. I struggle to find that time for our relationship, to go on dates, to take care of our marriage, to do special things, to spend the money on it because I'm always so thrifty. And so I have tended to share from time to time about my marriage, and I need to start sharing more about that because it's something I struggle with. I thought Shakeology was a scam when I started. I thought they were just trying to sell me something expensive. I didn't think I needed it. That really helps me relate to people, like I told you earlier. I thought it was super expensive. I was like, there's no way I could afford to stay on it. Obviously, I've eaten my own words. And another strong point of why that script that I share with you guys about addressing price that I use with pretty much every customer, that's why it does so well for me. Maybe it won't get you 100% of the customers. It gets me 100% of people to sign up day one because it is a coach, because it's what I wrote and it's true to me and it's really real for me when they get that. I thought Beachbody was a very worldly company. I was very worried that there was going to be too much on the body, that it wasn't really where I thought God was leading me to it, maybe, but I wasn't sure. And I was like, if I can't, use my faith in this business, if he's not in it with me, then it's not going to stick. And I was totally wrong about the business. So I was scared of coming off salesy, and I used to be calorie obsessed, and I have always had low confidence. So that's my like target audience. Sorry, I have like this hard candy now. And then, so you want to be you, but you also want to be open. And they really are kind of two different things. You can kind of be you in your posts, but only be giving like pieces of you or parts of you. It takes courage to be vulnerable and open on social media. You want to share what you're afraid to. And that's where personal development comes in. Out of our vulnerabilities come our strengths. People need to see that. If you don't let them know what you've struggled with or what you're struggling with, how can they see the changes taking place in you? How can they see the strength that's coming up? How can they see you changing? That's the stuff that makes people want to join you. So you want to share your obstacles. That's what people relate to the most. And remember that out of your mess, whether it was your past mess, your current mess, comes your message. My mess was that I was pregnant before I was married. It was that I messed up our finances completely. That I totally didn't think I wanted to marry my husband. And then God completely made him the right person for me. But it was all God, and I can take no credit. He completely saved my marriage, saved both of us. Made it was a beautiful kid, brought us to the house we're in right now. Every single part of it was him. And I like to share that in breadcrumbs. I can't share my whole life story. You know, my mom passed from breast cancer. Sometimes I share things about that because that had 10 years of crazy, crazy guilt that I got lost in, bad relationships, anorexia, all kinds of things. I try to share little bits along the way here and there so people that helps people relate to me. And that mess, though, that mess is what my kind of testimony is about. Now I'm so passionate about helping people not engage in sexual relations before they are married, because it creates a big fat mess, and why it's kind of what God says not to do. But it really does. It gives me a unique audience that I get to work with. So just remember that your mess isn't something that you need to hide. I know you want to, but that's really what really helps people the most. And ultimately, Beachbody is just a platform for you to help people. It really isn't about the challenge packs, not so much. Their lives are going to change in so many other wonderful ways as a result of them trying. That's what it's about. It's just fitness is usually just the first step in the right direction. So there is someone who needs to hear your message. There is someone that needs to hear Kajal saying, like, I work my butt off. I work harder than most of these girls. I have 5s across the board, more days than most people do. And at the end of that round, I might lose a pound or 2. It would be there are so many people around the world that are probably giving up or have already long given up because they just don't see that why should I then if it's not going to get me anywhere. And they need that. There are people trapped in full-time jobs, people who have a husband who works in a restaurant that's so hard because they're long days and they never have holidays or family time together, all that. Recently I've started to share that more about my husband. People are really relating to that are in my specific target audience. So people do need to hear that. How you're putting a positive spin, how you're changing things or working to change things or whatever. When you focus on sharing your story and your struggle, on being you and forming meaningful relationships, you won't ever feel like you're chasing someone down for a sale. I can promise you that. Why? Because there will already be a deep, meaningful relationship, and the products, they're just going to be an added bonus. That relationship that you form with somebody, I've formed some awesome relationships. I've gone and gotten coffee with people on this team that now much more feel like my friends or family than anything else. I never really felt like, I still don't feel like I sell people things. I don't. And that's why. But when I've gotten tripped up in my earlier coaching days, end of the month, I got to hit Success Club and I started to scramble and I started to sell. And that's exactly what I didn't want to do. So if you don't want to do it, don't. One of the best ways to avoid selling is this. Have a target audience and just form relationships and see how you can help people. If there's a relationship there and it never comes across that they struggle with weight or confidence or finances, then you don't ever need to bring up Beachbody, right? And if you're just forming a relationship and they see your post and they're interested, they're going to come to you. When you're focusing on the relationship and just being you and being visible on social media, those sales are going to come. You don't have to chase somebody down. So how do you find your potential customers? So now you know how to kind of speak to your ideal customer. But then where can you find these people, these customers, right? So not everyone you form a relationship is going to need your services, the coaching opportunity or the products, and that's okay. But many people will. More often than not, they will. Some part of it. Maybe it's just they're already thin. They work out like crazy to death, but they need the shake. They need the convenience. There's just going to be some part of it that most people will need. So how do you distinguish who does need it and who doesn't? And where do you find the people who need you? 1, Facebook groups surrounding your interests are going to be an area that you're already working within people in that kind of ideal, well, not necessarily, but you already have some common interest going on, right? It might be moms groups. I had a lot of my first-time customers and coaches were from local moms groups. Casual, you were, right? That's where we connected. Running, like I'm a runner, so I was in a runner group. I'm a yoga instructor, so I've been in some yoga groups. Traveling, if you're interested in that, cloth diapering, breastfeeding, whatever it may be, find your groups, connect with people in there, comment on things on social media. That's kind of part of your power hour. Those are the people that you'll, end up sending friend requests to and sending messages to. With somebody that maybe made a similar comment, or somebody asked for a book recommendation and they recommended your favorite one. You're like, hey, I love that one too. And then they comment back, oh, my favorite part's doing it. And then, the next step is then you take it to a message where you PM them. And if they answer once or you go back and forth once or twice, then shoot them a friend request. And now they're in your network and they're seeing your posts. So just kind of forming those relationships with people that you already have things in common with. Free groups that you run are going to be a great way to connect with people that are in your network, but that maybe you don't know or have a relationship with. Clean eating groups, fitness groups. Casual's doing this awesome. I just saw a hydrate group just about focus on the importance of water, which is fabulous. You can use their squat challenges, ab challenges. The debt-free group I've been doing and having a lot of success with, all those kinds of things you can run. You can do a Bible study like Christy's done, and I know one of them I'm thinking about is like loving your husband on purpose kind of a group. So all that kind of stuff. Warm messages and relationship building are where you're going to find, how you're going to find a customer. So you can have all these people in your network and have no idea. Maybe you have a lot in common. Maybe they need this, but if you don't know them, you don't know that. So you first always want to go to their Facebook page and scroll. I've had a couple newer coaches lately who actually sent warm messages or invites to coaches because they didn't know. We've all done that. So you just want to make sure that you go to their Facebook page first. Check out some of the things that you see that are, rescue dogs and you are too, or cooking or whatever. And then you have something that you can message them about and be like, hey, and just start. I do it all the time and people always answer me back. So people I see that we have 20 something friends in common and they just hit friend requests, send a friend request. I don't know who any of these people are. And a lot of times that's actually how I got in touch with Kristen, who's now a coach and has my goodness, crazy. She's got Jess as a coach and Jess's downline is growing, all that. Kristen, I had made a hammer and chisel advertisement and she posted on it and she was like, I want to do it. And at the time I was like, who is she? I literally didn't know who she was. And she was my church. She was just somebody that I had seen. We had a ton of friends and request. So that's why it's so important to be adding to your network. Look at what can come from that. Also, people who like or comment on your posts, never underestimate. If a lot of times coaches are like, well, just because somebody liked it doesn't mean they're interested, but it doesn't mean it doesn't. So a couple of days ago, there was a post I made, I can't remember which one it was, something about Beachbody or the shake, and a couple of people liked it that I had not seen any of my stuff. And then there was one girl who I've noticed has been liking almost everything I post about the coaching opportunity or, Beachbody. And I reached out to her, and don't you know, she's really interested in trying the shake. She'd love to be in one of my challenge groups. And she's about to have a surgery, so she's interested, and she gave me the date to follow up May 15th. She'll be ready to go. And I would have never known that. So pay attention. I also had a girl like one of my size ads a while ago when size came out. And I just followed up with her. I was like, hey, you might just be encouraging me or supporting me, which is awesome. Thank you so much. But I just wanted to see, I didn't know if you were actually interested in this and hearing more about size or in your challenge group or anything. So if you are, just let me know. And sure enough, she's like, oh my gosh, I totally am. But see, the thing is people don't come to you, right? People are not going to bang down your door and be like, hey, what's that size thing you're doing? Not typically. I will tell you now that I'm more than a year in, I do have that happen to me, but that will not happen to you as a new coach typically, unless your name is Jessica and the Lord is just working crazy things in your business. But aside from that,
I was going to say, I've had quite a few. I know it's not normal.
It's not normal. My head's still spinning from all of this, but typically it's not. And so you want to make sure that if you see anybody express any comment that you follow up. It doesn't mean you're like, hey, I saw you like my post. You already purchased the challenge pack. No, I didn't say that. But you just, hey, thank you for your support. Are you interested in more information? So anytime anybody comments on one of my posts, they might typically follow up with them. It may not be that same day, but that week or within a couple of days. And then you can also, anybody who posts about weight issues, if you notice, I've seen that in moms groups, people have just been like, even garage sale sites, does anybody know about the 21-day fix? Has anybody tried it? What are your thoughts? You might see somebody posting that they have a lot of financial issues. They don't know what they're going to do. That might be somebody that you want to post, or they're about to go back to work and they can't. They're dreading the thought of leaving their baby. They just want to be able to be home, but they don't know how it would be practical. We have an incredible opportunity that I'm so bold and confident about because I know how different it is than most things. There's all kinds of stuff, Plexus and Isogenics and Mary Kay, all this stuff, and I've done one of them, and I know how much time and effort and work goes into it.
And I'm not saying I haven't worked hard in this business, because I do. And I'm not saying I haven't put in a lot of time, because I have. I have huge goals, and I took a pace that not everybody takes. But I'll tell you that I did Mary Kay first, and I had to have babysitters for going to meetings. I had to have, inventory I paid for and shipping things I was required to do. And I had to have parties, and I would schedule a party and book it and have to get a babysitter and go drive there and use my own gas and my time, and people wouldn't even show up or they wouldn't purchase anything. My gosh, it was like so much work and so much time for a result that wasn't even close to what I've done with this business. So I know how great it is. And then I know that the company gives us free customers once you're at Emerald, and then the matching bonus starts at Diamond with a higher cycle volume. And then when you're 2-star, you start getting quarterly bonuses, and you can reopen yourself up under yourself and be making double the money that way. And if you sign your husband up, you can make again double the money that way. It's crazy, this opportunity. So I am bold when I talk to people about it, and you should be too. Other top ways to find customers, these are my favorites. And I'm telling you, when people ask me, how are you at Success Club 20 again? How are you at Success Club 21? How are you? This is how, right here. Here's your list. Okay. So not only do I do those things that I told you about, but I always ask after they say, just let me know what shake flavor you want in your email, and I can send the link right over. I do that. And then my final question is, and hey, one more question. Is there anybody that you think might want to do this challenge with you? Like 90% of the time I ask that. And I have absolutely gotten customers that way. Like, oh, let me ask. Or, and even if it isn't that time, it might be in the future. But I have definitely had people that I've had friends sign up that day. Referrals. And both of these are things that you could offer an incentive, like a gift, like a little packet of Energize or a sample of, Shaco or something like that. But referrals are something that you can always say after the first round, hey, I know that you loved being in my challenge group. I loved having you. You got awesome results. Is there anybody that you think might want to do this next round with you? And you don't have to call it a referral, but to ask them if there's anybody they think that might be needing it now that they know the value of a challenge group. And so that's a great way to do it. And that has worked for me several times. Before and after pictures are huge. People want pictures and they want stories. They relate to who someone is. Rather than just posting a before and after, it's great to be like, this is Grace. Grace started my group, and you don't have to mention her weight if she's not interested, but, overweight, tired, stressed, unhappy, lacking confidence, so upset that she couldn't fit in any of her clothes anymore and not having the money to buy new ones. 3 weeks later, she's down like 12 pounds. She is feeling so much better. Like that story, right, is what people want to hear. And so, or someone's battled with something. But of course, you always want to ask for permission before you share somebody's before and after. I typically do them on Transformation Tuesday, but you can do them anytime. Sunday night is like the best time to make a post. And so it's a great time to do a before and after. And you can actually do a before and after as a call, as a kind of invite to your next challenge group. So just make sure that you have their permission. And a lot of people will give you that. They'll be so grateful that you helped them and that you got them started. They might even post something on their own wall and tag you. Like Christina, all of her people do that, and it's amazing. Follow up with your current customers for new programs, or needs change. So maybe somebody signed up with just a program, and then they've been seeing everyone post about the shake and how much they love it and how good it is, and they've seen all the recipes. They're like, you know what? I think I might want to try it. They're probably not going to bang down your door again. You want to follow up. Be like, what did you think of the challenge group? Like, are you feeling like you're handling your nutrition really well, or do you think that you need the shake to help round that out for you and curb your cravings? I've definitely had people purchase after their first round. Also, they might, by the end of their third round, I always follow up to see how they're feeling, if they think that and I still do that with my coaches because I want to help them keep hitting their goals. Like most people will kind of start to plateau or get bored with the programs by the end of like their third round of the fix or something. And so then I talk them about bumping up to the extreme, or maybe Master's Hammer and Chisel or something like 22-minute hard corps or whatever. Also, follow up with past customers. So we all have those customers who, despite our best efforts, they just kind of fall off and there's nothing we can do about it. It's not you, it's them. And you got to be okay with that. But I reach out to people like, how are you doing? It's been a while. Like, I miss you in the groups. Have you been doing all through? I try not to make it just about Beachbody. I ask them how life is, how they've been, but I do ask them. And a lot of times I get them telling me that they want a group again, that they've been feeling terrible, that they really need support. You know what? I had just had somebody message me. I haven't heard from her in months. And she's like, I ran out of the shake and it was too expensive. I couldn't do it. But honestly, I feel like I just really need it right now. Can I get a bag of it? But if I hadn't opened up lines of communication again, I might not have heard. You can also do an advertisement for any of the sales this month that we have or any current month. You can also do a promo. So if the end of the month is coming, how bad do you want it? how bad, like, let's say you had Success Club 10 for 10 months and you're about to be, you know, an all-star, you know, legend or whatever. And you're like, I'm not going to lose it over this. You might be, hey, challenge pack, $20 off or $30 off. So you're getting the program for free and another $10 off your shake or whatever. You are running your own business. So you can do whatever you need to hit your goals. There have been months where it was so slow that I offered $30 off a challenge pack because I knew that I was going to make like 40. So I'm still going to make 10. And although 10 is not a lot, you better believe that most people, when they try the shake, they want to stay on it and that they want to sign up for the discount. And then I potentially have a coach, which might help me grow my business and also up in rank. You know, another person, yeah, it's going to build that solid foundation for me on my legs and be helping me cycle off of it and all that stuff. So, and they might bring a customer to you. So to me, it's worth it. Especially if you have somebody that has like a major financial concern. You always have the option to do, you know, a promo or a sale or a special. Also, you got to be visible on social media as the proof of the product and the business opportunity. So, you know, people can't know that this business opportunity is changing your life. I coaches all the time. I give them free gifts and then I never see them post about it. You better believe I don't miss one opportunity to post that I got this awesome, you know, bracelet from Amanda when I hit Emerald. And then when I hit Diamond, she sent me like flowers in the mail and took me to dinner at this awesome restaurant. And I got to get dressed up and have fun. And then when our Diamond, she sent me like one of those. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure my Star Diamond gift is like a Tiffany's bracelet, which I haven't gotten yet because we haven't gotten together. I'm like, that would be insane. But you better believe I post, and I don't post to brag. I post because I want people to see. In no other job are you going to do your job and get showered gifts on you every time you're doing your job well and win free trips and, you know, also have your checks keep going up and making more money and all this stuff. Like, it's, so you want to highlight to people what this opportunity is doing for you, every little thing. If you made $40 this week and you were able to go buy yourself a cup of coffee guilt-free, post that. That's a huge post. A mom like me would have so related to that. I had no money that I felt like was my own, and it was a struggle of mine. So whatever you've struggled with financially, if you're trying to save for a home and you've never had a home, share that. You better believe there's a billion people that are still in your shoes that don't have a home. And I was posting about that. I just posted about that when I got it. I was like, any of you that are still working your way here, like, I know exactly what it's like. This seems so far to reach for so long. Keep taking the right steps, you know, so put yourself out there, not just as the proof of the product, but people have to see you drinking your shake, right? They're not going to know you're drinking it unless they see you drinking it. And they have to know, and you don't always have to say hashtag Shakeology or love my Shakeology. You could just have a picture of you and your kiddo and the shake is in your hand. Like, you don't have to spell it out all the time. People know what it is by now, or they should if you've been, you know, visible on Facebook. Same thing with you starting and finishing programs. You want to start, you know, you decide, you commit, you succeed. You want to be the example of that because most people don't know how to do that. So they need to see you finishing your before and afters and do the best you can to stick with the program and share when you finish a round, share, even if it's not results, just that you did finish it, whatever. So in closing, one of my favorite scriptures, always good to remember, especially with this call, you know, if you don't ask, you're not going to receive. And if you don't seek, you're not going to find. If you don't knock, then the door is not going to be open to you. So when you're looking for customers, like, remember, they're not going to come to you. They're not going to knock your door down. Your job is to follow up. Your job is to invite. Your job is to message. Your job is to treat this like a business. If you treat it like a business, it's going to pay you back like a business. If you treat it like I don't really feel like it today, then that's exactly the result you're going to get. And if you're okay with that, okay. But if you're like me and you're trying to change your family's lives and your future and your finances and everything, then that's not going to cut it. You've got to ask and seek and knock. And that hopefully this call helped you guys realize how to do that. So I am going to open it up for questions and kind of unmute everybody if anybody has any, and if everybody just wants to kind of quickly hop off and get to their workouts, and I completely understand if I can figure out even how to get out of this. Casual health. Oh, there we go. I'm so bad with technology, guys. Okay. Let me unmute you guys. Anybody, actually unmute yourselves, you guys, because I don't even see where that button is anymore. Okay. And Nicole, you can unmute yourself too. Does anybody have any question on anything or anything that popped up that they're not sure about or like that? Nope. Anybody? Okay, well, when we can wrap up, if anybody has a question for me, you guys, you can hang on the line for a minute. I'll stay, and then if not, I'll just be chatting with you girls this week in the groups and stuff, and I hope this stuff helped you. I'll put up the recording on the page tomorrow if you missed any part of it. If not tonight, but probably by tomorrow. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, girls, keep rocking it out. Have a great rest of your month and a great week, and I'll talk soon.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.